In the last episode, we finished the UI development of the application. Now we can start the coding. So for this application, we have to send a contact to the remote server. Also, we need to read all the available contacts from the remote server. So here we are going to use Volley for the network connections. So here I am going to add a new class for Volley singleton pattern. So right click the package and create a new Java class. Specify the class name as my singleton. So here I add all the needed method for Volley singleton pattern. Here is a method that will return the request queue. Here is the method that will return an instance of this class, and here is a method for add each request to the request queue. Here we have a constructor for this class. For the constructor we have to pass the context. So this is the singleton pattern for using Volley. So inside activity main.xml we have two buttons, add a new contact and view contacts. So for these buttons we have two on-click method, add contact and view contacts. Now we have to specify these methods inside main activity.java. So first here I copy this method name. Now open main activity.java and define that method here. For this method we need one parameter, is a view parameter. Now copy the second method name. This method also need one parameter. So from this method we need to start the view contact activity, add contact activity. So start activity, new intent, specify context. Now specify the target activity class name. Here it is add contact dot class. Now from this method we have to start another activity. Here it is view contact dot class. Okay, now we can close these two files. Now we have to add a new contact. So open add contact.java. Also open the needed layout file. Here it is activity add contact.xml. So now go to the layout file. So here we have a button with on-click method select pick. So we have to define this method inside our class file. So I copy this method name. Now go to the class file and here I define that method. Specify the parameter. Here we have another button with on-click method upload contact. So copy this method name. We have to define that method also. Specify the parameter for this method. So here we have to declare some variables. Define two text view. I name it as txt name and txt email. Now we need some linear layout variable. Upload form and user form. Now we need to define some edit text variable. Here it is name and email. Now we need some variables for image view. I name it as img. Now we need some bitmap variable. I name it as bitmap. And now we need some variable for Gson. I name it as Gson. Now we need some variable for the uploading URL. So private string upload URL. So here our server is localhost, so specify the URL. So here I specify the IP as 10.0.2.2. This is because in this Studio project we are going to test our application on an Android virtual device. So this is the default IP address used by Android virtual device to access the local host. So we have a folder called contact app. In that folder our PHP file name is savecontact.php. So when we save a contact to the remote server, here we are going to perform the Gson serialization. That means we are going to convert Java objects into JSON format. So for that we need some model class. So here I am going to create a model class, create a new Java class with the class name contact. Here we have to declare some variables. Name, email, profile pic, and there is one variable for getting the server response. Now we need to specify the getter methods for these variables. So select the getter methods. Okay, here we add the getter methods for all these variables. Here we need a constructor for this class. So create a constructor. For this constructor we need 3 parameters. String name, email, and final one is the profile pic. Now initialize the variables from this constructor. Initialize the email and initialize the profile pic. So this is our model class that contains some getter methods, and there is a constructor for this class. The constructor accepts 3 parameters: name, email, and profile pic. So this is our model class. So close this file. Now here we need some variable for the model class. Here we need some integer variable. It's a static variable. It's a final variable. Public static final int img request. This is for the image request. Now we can initialize these variables. first one is txt name, that one is a text view. Now find it. Txt name. So here I initialize all the variables using find view by id method. Now we can handle the selective pick method. So when user click the selective picture button, this method will invoke. So from this method we have to select an available image from the device. So here first create some variables for indent. Specify the type of the indent. So use this method set type. Here it is image. Now specify the action for the indent. Here I use the action set action get content. And finally call the method start activity for result. First parameter is the indent and second parameter is a request code. Here I'm going to use the variable img request. So when you use the start activity for a result method, you have to override one more method for get the result back, that is the on activity result method. So here we have to test some conditions. So here I'm going to use an if loop. If request code is equal to our request code, here it is img request, that is the first condition. Now specify the second condition. If result code is result OK, now specify one more condition, and data not equal to null. In that case we can handle the data. So first we have to get the image path from the variable data. So for that we have to specify some variable for URI. Data dot get data. Now we need to get a bitmap from the path. So bitmap equal to media store dot images dot media, and there is a method called get bitmap. First parameter is the content resolver, so you can use this method get content resolver. Now specify the URI path. Here it is path. So here you have to add some try catch block. So here we get the bitmap from the path. Now here I am going to display this bitmap on the image view. So img dot set image bitmap and pass the bitmap. So now we can hide the user form. User form dot set visibility into gone. Now we can display the upload form. So upload form dot set visibility into visible. At the same time we can display the name and email on the upload form. So here variables are text name dot set to text. Get the name from the edit text. Now display the email. So here it is email, txt email. Get the email from the edit text. And now we can perform the image upload. So we can perform the image upload from this method upload contact. So here define some variables. So before going to define methods and define variables, first thing we have to convert the bitmap into a string value. So here we are going to send the image in the form of a string value. So we have to define another method for convert that image into a string value. So here define a method private. Here the return IP string value. I name the method as image to string. So first here we have to define some method for byte array output stream. I name it as byte array output stream. New byte array output stream. So first we are going to convert that image bitmap into JPG format. We are going to compress that image into JPG format. After that we are going to convert that JPG formatted image into a byte array, and finally we encode that byte array in the form of a string. So now we need to convert, we need to compress that image into JPG format. For that we can use that variable bitmap dot compress. Call this method compress. Specify the compression format. Here it is compress format dot JPG. Now specify the quality. Here we need 100% quality, and final parameter is the byte array output stream. Now we need to convert this byte array output stream into a byte array. So create some variables for byte array. I name it as image array. So byte array output stream to byte array, and finally we can encode this byte array into string value. So here we are going to use the encode format base64, encode it to string. First specify the byte array. Here it is image array, and second parameter is a flag. Here we can use this flag base64.default, and finally we can return the string from this method. So return this method. So when we call this method will convert that bitmap into a string value. Now we can perform the upload. So here declare some variables, image, and call the method image to string. Now get the name and email of the person. So name dot get the text dot string. Now get the email. So email dot get the text dot string. So now we have image, name and email. Okay, now here we can create an object of contact class. So contact equal to new contact. So here we have to pass the parameter name, email and image, profile pic. And now we can initialize the Gson object, new Gson. So here we can perform the data serialization. Serialization means we are going to convert this object into JSON string. So here create a variable, create a string value. I name it as upload JSON. JSON, by using the JSON object we can call a method called toJSON. So for this method you have to pass one parameter, that is the object. So here it is contact. So here we perform the data serialization. We convert that object into a JSON format. Now we can perform the data upload. So create a volley string request, new string request. First parameter is the request type. Here we are going to perform a post request. Now specify the upload URL. Now specify the response listener. Now specify the error listener. Here add the request body. So override a method called the getParams. So here define some map variables. The key and the values are string type. I name it as params. This one is a hash map value. Now specify value for this variable. So params dot put value. First specify the key. Here the key is contact. Now specify the contact value. Here it is upload JSON. And finally return that parameter from this method. Here it is params. Now we can handle the response from server. So the server return a JSON value. So we have to display that JSON. We have to display that server response on an alert dialog. So here this create a method for display the alert dialog. Display alert. So for this method we need one parameter is a contact class object. So here create some variables for alert dialog builder. I name it as builder and pass the context. Now specify the properties of the builder. Set the title. This is the response from server. Now set the message on the builder. Set the message. So using that object we can call the getter method get the response. Now specify a button for the builder. Set the positive button. Specify the button label. Now specify the click interface. So when user click the button we can finish this activity. Now we can display the alert dialog. So builder dot create, and now we can display the alert dialog. So builder dot show, call the show method. Now we can handle the response from server. So here the response is a string value. It is a JSON value. So here we need to perform the data deserialization to get the response from server. So for that we can initialize the JSON from here. New JSON. Now get the object from response. So here the object is contact. So JSON, and use this method from JSON. First one specify the response. Here it is a response. Now specify the response type. Here it is an object of the contact class. So contact dot class. Now we can display the alert dialog. So call the method display alert and pass the contact object. So here we perform a string request. Now we need to execute that string request. So call the mySingleton.get instance and pass the param context. Now add the request to the request queue. Here it is string request. Okay, now we finish the coding. Now we can test the application. So open the database. Here it is a localhost. Open PHP myadmin. Here is our database. So here we have some data are available. So I delete all the datas. Now the database is clear. Now go to the upload folder. I clear the upload folder also. Now we can run our application. So run the application. Now the application available on this virtual device. Now we can test it. So add a new contact. Specify email address. And select a profile pic. Now upload contact, and here is the response from server. Now that image is available on the upload folder. Now we can test the database. So here is the data. So this is how we perform data serialization using Gson.